Hi, good morning, everyone. Hope all you are fine and safe at home. And I've changed my look a bit. Okay, don't get surprised. I'm still the same one. Okay. Good morning, Jagrati. Good morning, Chetan. Hi, Nadraj. Okay. So good to see all you. So let your friends join in. So we'll start. Okay. So don't bother. I'm looking like a teenager as you. Okay. So maybe I am sometime. Okay. So I was actually enjoying the time with you, and I thought why not changing a look so we look more friendly. Okay, so you can circulate this link among the groups so that your friends can join in and we can start. So we are going to learn about user interface today. Okay, so how we design a interface where our player can, or our user or whoever playing the game, he can click on the interface, click on some button, and there will be something happening at the back. Okay, yeah, don't forget to subscribe this channel. So if this goes good, um, we have pretty much a good amount of learners over here for gaming with Unity. So if this goes good, perhaps weekly or monthly we can, in future, after these summer session ended, we can plan for um, weekly or monthly. We'll sit together and we'll discuss about our progress. If you want to really pursue your career in game designing, you want to learn more about scripting. So as this entire course is designed for you, as a as in keeping in mind that you don't have that much in-depth knowledge about programming or object oriented programming. So that is why we are not emphasizing programming here. So if you want to learn more about programming and all this kind of logical implementation thing, we can always set up sessions for you. So to get the session get going, you must subscribe to this channel and you'll get a notification about it if you click on the bell icon. So you'll get a notification on your mail. I have your mail IDs, and we are pretty much connected in Slack. Okay, so I'll notify you that if I am going to take a session about programming for you any day. Okay, so we all understand what is a user interface. What do you understand about user interface? How why we need a user interface? We have a game that is being played at the screen, and why we need a user interface along with that? Any views? Any views, guys? Or you understand, or you don't understand what is UI? So I was asking that what do you understand by the word of user interface? So we have a game, and that game pretty much we can play without an user interface. But why we need an user interface for a game? What its necessity, basically? Okay, buttons on the screen. Okay, so if that is, I'm sorry about that. Let me just fix my mic. Oh, it's fine now. Human communication. Okay. Yeah, so that comes from some web source, but I want you to, dig into your brain and, take out something about UI. Okay. A pathway to connect them. Okay. Good one. Performing functions. Okay. Okay. Okay, Chetan. You're smart. Um, okay, so pretty much whatever you said, all those are correct. Okay, because um, perhaps you don't know a full definition of EY, but you know what it does, right? We all play game. Okay, so it's not a new it's not rocket science that I've asked for. So we'll start inside Unity. Okay, so today uh, we'll start working with this karting micro game project, and we will pretty much do everything to set up our own interface and environment. Okay, so I will just turn off my video and let's start. Okay, and let's see what he got. Okay, so I've opened the main scene over here, and it has a game manager. Okay, then event system, then background music, main camera, cinemachine. Okay, you don't need to bother about what is cinemachine and all. These are advanced type of packages added into this game, and I will make you understand how this works and how we can change its look and feel. Okay, with the cinemation, what is the cinemation, all this kind of thing. Okay, so in the player section we have card classic player. So this is the player. Okay, then in the level section we have directional light, post process volume, oval track, additional track, environment, object time limit, objective time limit, then start finish line. Then there are 3 checkpoints are there. Okay, so these are the checkpoints it's talking about. Okay, now let's start with the how we can change our player entirely. Okay, so we are not going to replace this player with any other model, and I want to make you understand that when we start the game, how it no how it looks. Okay, so I'll play the game. Okay, so there is an audio as well. Okay, so I mute the audio. Perhaps I have to change. Okay, so if unmute it, so there is an audio. I think you are able to hear that. Okay, so it's like moving like if you have a joystick or any controller connected, or you have a keyboard, it's WASD. Okay, so when we are touching or you're going through any of the checkpoints being added and saying that one checkpoint left, two checkpoints left, okay, and so it's the end of it, and here is the finish line and all objectives are completed. Okay, so now it says you won. Okay, you can play again or you can go to menu. Okay, so I click on menu, and here you see some of the things open for you to make this game as yourself. Okay, game as you want. Okay, so it says name your game. Okay, so we can, how I'll make you understand that how you can do that. Okay, so we are learning pretty much everything about UI today. Okay, then here we have a button that says controls. Okay, so in the controls you have keyboard, how we move, or it's like a help. Okay, to understand the inputs from the keyboard or console. Okay, then we click on play, the game starts again, and it says if we click on tab, okay, then it will give us the menu, and it has shadows. Okay, we can make it make the shadows active or deactive. Okay, then frame rate counter is there. Okay, then controls. Okay, then screenshot, if you want to take any screenshot you can take that too. Okay, click over here, and so this is a screenshot taken. Okay, so done. Okay, so here it shows the frame rate. Okay, current frame rate. Okay, so the UI looks good, environment is pretty much professional. Okay, I'll perhaps mute the audio. The environment is more professional, and you see our player is also a bit of juggling when he is on the cart and there are smokes coming. Okay, and the wheels are rotating. Okay, you don't need to worry about how these things are happening. It's completely ready, and I will whatever you learned till now, I think with that knowledge you can pretty much edit most of the things over here, and you can change the look and feel for the entire game. Okay, so what if we lose, what if we don't complete all the objectives? So it says timeout, and it's like you lose. Okay, so if you understood from here is we have a scene that plays the game, we have another scene that is for menu or to make the game start. Okay, and there is another scene that is when we lose the game or when we win the game. Okay, so I'll just stop it, and I'll take you to karting, then scenes. Okay, then here you see you have a intro menu. Okay, so it's intro menu means it's pretty much understandable that it's an interaction menu. Okay, here you can name your game, you see controls, play. Okay, everything. Then main scene. Okay, main scene where a player will be able to play the game. Then lose scene, if the player loses. Okay, here we'll go to canvas. Okay, then win scene. Okay, and so there are 4 different scenes. Okay, so we'll start changing from the interaction menu. Okay, so here you see when we add so we have everything over here, like whatever UI objects we need. Okay, so suppose I'm just creating one new scene to make you understand. Okay, so it says scene templates in the project, it had some template. Okay, same T I want. Okay, So it's an empty, nothing is there. Okay, and I want to create a first a camera. Okay, then a directional light. Okay, so light, directional light. Okay, so these two objects are available with it. Okay, and now I want to add some UI component. Okay, so this is UI, and inside UI we have text, we have text mesh pro, we have image, we have raw image, we have button. Okay, we have button text mesh pro, we have toggle, we have slider, we have scroll bar, we have drop down. Okay, so we have drop down text mesh pro, input field text mesh pro, then canvas, panel, scroll view, event system. Okay, everything pretty much. So I'll perhaps add one text. Okay, okay, so it's just an text. So when we have added that text, okay, so I'll delete that and I'll show you again that when we have added a text, now with that there are some objects are coming by default. It's one is canvas, okay, which is a parent object of a text. Okay, so canvas is nothing but your UI area where you want to place your all UI components like text, button, drop down, slider, everything. Then event system. Okay, so event system is nothing but it will give you the whatever the event is being generated from the canvas. Okay, so it will make it connected with your game, and it will make all the interactions work. Okay, and you don't have to change anything in the event system. Okay, there pretty much default things are here. Okay, so then the canvas. Okay, so here the canvas is rect transform. Okay, rectangle transform it says. Then the canvas, it's consistent pixel size. Okay, blocking objects, you don't need to change anything from here also. Okay, and we have a text, so we want to make it customized. Okay, so we don't we don't need to unnecessarily change things over here from the canvas and event system for now. Okay, so we'll just figure out how we can add UI components inside the canvas. Okay, so canvas means it's like UI. Okay, so if we add more UI objects, like if I want to add a button, okay, and button is also added. If you see, it's wherever I'm adding, okay, I'm adding from the top. Okay, so I have no parent selected, no object selected. Okay, then I want to add one text again. Okay, now you see everything I'm adding from the UI, it is coming under, automatically coming under canvas itself. Okay, so if that is fine, that is that you understood, then we'll move on. So clicking on text, so I'll perhaps double click on it so that it will take me closer to the object. Okay, so text. Okay, so this is the text, and this is the button. uh, so I hope I'm back. Okay, so you can write it as play. Okay, and you can change the font if you have any, then font style. Okay, like a normal word file you do. Okay, then font size is 14, you can change it to 20. Okay, then line spacing, then rich text. Okay, so in the paragraph, okay, you can make it as center. Okay, center and center. Okay, then align by geometry, and then so there are other parameters as well. You can check out by yourself that what those if you change the values in that parameter, what it will do. Okay, so this one play, and this one, okay, pause. Okay, So similarly I want to make it as center, okay, center middle. Then you can change the font size, you can change the font color. So right now the color is gray, I believe, okay. So you can change it to white, you can change it to black, okay. So this is how we add and edit or customize the element. So here inside the button, you see it's not a single object. You can expand the object and you will be able to see that there is a text component over there. So what it's written button, okay. So you can change that button name to as play, okay. So it will determine that when you click on this button it will start playing the game, okay. Then this button over here, the parent object of this text, okay. So you can rename that button as you keep that button, but in front I will add play underscore button, so that if I have n number of buttons over here, so I can understand that. So this is the play button, okay. So, if you if this is a button and if you want to make it work, okay, make it work quickly. So there is a button and button generates some event when you click on it, okay. So the parent object of this text is button, and when we go to inspector of it, when we inspect it from the inspector, you'll get to see that there is a on click, okay, event system is available over here. So now we have no events, okay. We can add one, okay. So clicking on this plus, okay, we have added one. So it says when you want to make it run, when you want to make it work, this button, okay. So this is runtime and editor and runtime and off, okay. So you want to make it as a runtime only, okay. Now no function is deactivated, we can't do anything on it, okay. And here it says none, okay. None object means no objects are connected to manipulate, okay. So here what we can do is, if you click on this bullet over here, so it will give you the list of objects you have, okay, inside your game, okay. So it's scenes, assets, okay. So whatever asset you have on your asset folder, you can click on scene, so that it will collect something from your scene, okay, scene itself. So um, here you can add one object. So I want to add directional light maybe, okay. So I can add object the from the scene like this way, and there is another way I can drag and drop it over here, okay. So this object is now in the script, okay, in the on click event script, okay. And now we want to make some function to work, okay. So I click on no function, then I go to, so there are some scripts are connected with this directional light. So here we get to see there is game object transform light. So if we go to directional light and see, so there is pretty much those are the things, okay. So one is this entire game object, and there is a light, okay, over here, and there is a transform, okay. So these three things we get to see in the button also, okay. If you go there, button and then no function to add a function, okay. So when you hover on any of these classes, okay, any of these classes or components, you could see there are some public functions that we can make it work. So is static, and here you see is a is set active, okay. Then send message, okay. Then boolean. So there are, public objects are there, public methods are there which you can, select and you can make it work. Okay, look at transform. Then inside light, so there are enormous number of methods are there which we can manipulate. So reset, then set light dirty. Okay, then boolean enabled. Okay, so I want to work with this boolean enabled. Okay, so boolean enabled, so here you see tick and untick. Okay, so it's true or false. Now it's true, now it's false. Okay, so you want to pass when we click on this button. I want to make this like disabled, means enabled is not true, so it will be disabled. Okay, so let's play and see. Okay, so perhaps the buttons are very small, looking very small. So I will change the view to, I have to make those objects a bit bigger. So I'll go to canvas scaler, consistent pixel size to scale with screen size. I'll change it and let's see. No, so let's see anything. Okay, consistent physical size became still okay. So let's work with consistent pixel size and this canvas and these objects. Okay, so it's a scale is there. I'll just make it 2 2 2. Okay, so you don't change anything from the canvas. Okay, if it's looking small, you just on the game and you see if it's small, then you just make the size a bit bigger. Okay, of it. So I'll go back to scene and I'll play again. Then if I click on play, here you see the light is gone. Okay, so there is no light. Okay, so if I click on it again, so nothing happens, because a button is a kind of, it will generate one time event. Okay, so if you click again on it, it won't it won't come back to the previous um, event of it. Okay, so what to achieve what you want is, on click of this button we want to deactivate the light or we want to turn off the light, and there will be another button where we want to turn on the light. Okay, so I will just duplicate this one, this light. So this play button, it says I want to make it as light on, and this one I want to rename as light off. Okay, so this light off button, as I duplicated in the same position of it, so it's there. I just have to drag it and move a bit, and this text I want to change it to light on, and this one as light off. Okay, so this light off, we want to make the light turned off. Okay, so it's off. Okay, it's not true, and on the light on I want to make it true. Okay, so now we play. Then I click on light on, nothing happens because light is still on. So I click on light off, you see the light is gone. Okay, and I click on light on, the light is back. Okay, similarly you can work with any audio also over here. Okay, so pretty much everything that that kind of a single event you want to generate with a button, you can do that over here. And if you want to do it with a single button, okay, how we can do? So as so there is a this is the button which will pass only one time. So at a time it can execute only one function, okay. So and it's a, well, if you set is as true, it will always act like a true. If you set as false, if it will always act like false, okay, when you click on it, okay. So this kind of on off situation, if you want to, if we want to make, we can use a toggle instead, okay. So we can add a toggle. So toggle is pretty much like it's true, it will pass true and false. So if it's if we inspect a toggle, so this toggle, so you see the similarly there is a the true and false button is there, okay. So if it's true, then it will pass a true to the function. If it's false, it will pass a false to the function, okay. So whatever we did on light on or light off, we will check it on the toggle as well, okay. So in the toggle also you'll see there is a label, there is a background, okay. So there are check mark, okay. So there are two or three things are different from the button, okay. So because it has a checkbox, okay. So in the label it says it's a text component, okay. So it's a toggle. So I want to make it rename it as light on off, okay. And in the toggle, similarly as we did, added one event, okay, on click event for the button. Similarly we can do over here. So in the button, if you see, it is on click, and the toggle it says on value changed, okay. So if we are changing the value of these checkbox at that time, it will make things work, okay. So the now it says the list is empty, we want to add one. As we did added, we will drag and drop the object we want to manipulate, okay. Then no function, we want to go to light, and here you see there are something says dynamic boolean, okay. So this toggle button will act as a dynamic boolean. You in any of the generic button, if you go, you won't see that boolean parameters available over here, or the boolean value change things are here, okay. So you will get to see those things on the toggle only, okay. So because toggles are dynamic, okay. So light, and it says this enabled, okay. So here we don't have to tick or untick, or make things false or true over here, because the toggle itself will take care of everything, okay. Now let's see how things work. So I want to make the toggle size a bit bigger, because earlier we got to see, okay, just QSD to expect 10. Now this toggle, okay. Okay, now we play and see. Okay, so here light on off, okay, things are connected, and I'll click on it. You see the light is turned off, and this area is false. I'll click on it again, and the light comes back. Similarly, if we have one object, okay, so it was light, and I want to add a 3D object of cube, okay, and this cube there, see it on the scene, cube, and reset its position, and now also, okay. and the camera, I want to make it look at the cube. So visit it. So camera view, rotate it also. Okay, so in the game view you see this object. Okay, and so it was light on and off. What if we want to make any object activated or deactivated? Okay, so the light off button, not light off button, we will click on toggle, and instead of this directional light we will add this cube over here. Okay, this cube, no function, we want to make this game object as a dynamic bool of set active. Okay, so it will activate or deactivate the object. So get ready with your questions. After this I'll take some of your questions. If you don't understand somewhere you missed, yeah, I'll take those. So if I click on it, the object goes away. If I click on it again, the object comes back. Okay, so this is how we can, you know, make events with toggle button, all kind of, you know, if anything we have as UI element, we generates event. Okay, so with that event something happens in the scene, we can do pretty much this kind of thing over there. Okay, okay, so I can take your questions from the chat box now. Okay, so boolean is 0 and 1. Okay, so in the binary world, in it's all 0 and 1. So 0, it seems it's false. Okay, 0 false, off, and 1 it's true, on. Okay, so if any value, if it is true, then it is 1 or it's on, and if any value, if it's 0, then it should be off, or it's false, off, and you know, it's 0. Go on with your doubts. So boolean is true and false. Okay, it's a kind of a data type. So we have in the real world, we have if you see, and right now we have numerical values, we have text values. Okay, so text, we call those as a string. Okay, then inside that we have characters as well, and in the numbers we have integers for a number without any fractional values. We have double, we have float, okay, with fractional values. We have double with pretty much bigger fractional values. We have to make things, you know, true and false, we have boolean type values. Okay, so these are all data types. Okay, so when we create any variable inside our script or program, any of the language, okay, so we these have to be defined about, you know, what is its data type. In a fixed position. Okay, fixed position means, okay, so the canvas object, okay, the canvas object is always at the same position where you place it. Okay, it won't go away, it won't you know, float around until and unless you add animations on it. This text over here, So, this text over here, perhaps you can't see those. I'll just delete everything and add everything. Add one text, UI text. Okay, came. You get to see the new text. Okay, so um, this text over here, you can move it. Okay, and to change its position, you want to make it centered and middle. You can do it from here, and you can edit it. Okay, so so there is a reason. So this is the text component I have, or text object I have for the canvas or UI. So its position is always fixed. Okay, it won't move around. So because there is a two layers are there. Okay, one layer is your game layer, your 3D world layer, and another layer is your canvas layer. So canvas layer comes in front of everything. Okay, so these objects over here in the canvas, these are mostly 2D. Okay, you see, these are two-dimensional objects. Okay, so there is no 3D feel of it, and you can move it on x and y direction. Okay, to place it wherever you want. So like this light on off, we usually perhaps we keep those in the top corner. Okay, you can move it like this, so then in the game view it will move to the top corner. Okay, so there are other technical ways to do this. You click on it, you click over here, and you click on command, um, click on option, and click any of the area. It will move the object to that position. Okay, you can move it at the bottom, you can move it at the bottom middle. Okay, like this. Okay, so this is how you fix the position for one UI element. This hello world text, if I want to place it there, can do. Okay, yeah, you can name your game. I'm just going there only. Okay, so I hope you understood. These are minimum things you have to know in wherever you get to see any UI elements. These are the pretty much everything. These are the generic objects you'll get to see over there. Okay, so now I want to open the intro menu. I don't want to save it. Okay, perhaps I'll save it for you. So if I share this this project, you can take help from there. I'll create one folder, scenes. Inside scenes, I want to make it as a okay, so now the intro menu, we have intro menu inside assets, carting, scenes, intro menu. Okay, so I've opened it. It says name your game. Okay, how we can edit that to make it our own? So we go to scene. Okay, you can't do any edit sort of thing from the game window itself. Okay, so if you try to select any of the object, it won't be selected, and you will feel like, you know, my game engine is not working. So it's not that. You are on game window, just make sure you go to scene window, and here you see a canvas as we already practiced in the previous scene. So I'll double click on this canvas. It will take me closer to that canvas, and here I see there is a background image, there is a title text, there is a start button, there is a controls button and there is a controls image. So controls image is now deactivated. So if you see, it's deactivated. So to deactivate any of the object, you just make it true or false from here. Okay, so controls image is now deactivated. If I want to see what is there, I click on it, and now you see controls image has this image. And again there is another button, okay, which will close the panel. Okay, so we can activate or deactivate things from here, and here it says a title text. So this title text is a text mesh pro object. I want to rename it as okay. Now the game window, you'll see the game is renamed. Okay, so this game name, we keep it uniform for all of us. Go-kart rush will be the name for everyone. I hope you understand that. And the start button and controls, you see, we already have seen this control. So similarly, the control button, it has two objects connected. Okay, then this object is connected over here. Set active, true and false. On click events are connected over there. Then when you play, so if we play it from here, then go-kart rush name is there, and we can click on play, and it will take us to the main game scene. Okay, so I don't want to go there right now. I want to discuss a bit about this background image. So there's an image over here, and there's a background image, the main component. Okay, so you don't need to consider this vignette image. Okay, it's just it is there to make the scene a bit darker. Okay, so if you want to change its color, you can do that. Okay, if you want to change the background image entirely, what you can do is you can go and search for your own. Okay, so I'll get images from Google. So this image, if I want to use this one, so I'll download it first. I'll save the image to downloads, and in the assets, I'll go to the top of the folder, assets. I'll right click there. I will import a new asset, and the image that I've downloaded it's in my downloads folder. I want to check the object that I've downloaded. So I have a Spider-Man image. So there are images are there which I can use. Okay, so I have this image. Let's use this one, or else I can save it to a different save image as. Let's save it to desktop. and format, I have to change its format as well, so I don't want to do that inside Unity. I'll save this image also on the desktop. Okay, and I'll come back to Unity and I'll go to my desktop folder, and here I'll get an image. So this image I want to import, and it's being imported here. And this background image, you see there's a raw image component and there's a texture parameter is there, so it has some value. I want to change that value to this object. So there are two ways I can do that. One is clicking on this bullet, and I have to search for my object. So my object is named as XAMPP. Okay, I click on it, it will be changed. There is another way. I can just simply drag and drop the image over there. Now you see the background image is changed. Okay, so the background photo is much more realistic. So if you have some image that is edited by you, okay, your photo in it, okay, you are driving the car or anything, if you want to add any sort of image that you want, or from your fantasy, for your from you're driving a car, you edited it, or there is a similar photo, and at the you can add your photo at the corner. Okay, so you can do those sort of editing things, and you can add your image over here like this. Okay, understood? Okay, so hope you got the idea. uh, so and similarly, if you want to change anything from the button, if you want to place it, if you want to change the place of these controls, okay, you can do that. But make sure that if when you change a button and its position, we have to maintain the distance for this player as well. And so I'll keep it wherever it was. And I think for me it's well edited, and I'll go to main scene instead. So I'll save the scene. I'll go to the player, card classic player, and inside the player, card bouncing capsule, wheel colliders, wheels, card visual, arcade engine, audio. There are a lot of objects are there. Okay, don't get confused. We need the player. So I'll zoom it a bit, then I'll select the player. So now the template character, okay, the player is selected, this one, and it has a material connected with it. So where we can change its color. Okay, I want to change its color to the green, perhaps blue. And there is a card. I selected the card, and it also has a card body material, and we know how to change the color. Card body, so I'm to make this card body as this red, this yellow color. Okay, now the color has changed. And similarly, if you want to change the color for these checkpoints also, click on the checkpoint and select the checkpoint, and you will get to see this checkpoint material. You click on this albedo, the color section over here, and you can change the color for, yeah, okay, and add any color you want. Okay, all the color of those checkpoints um, will be the same. And so I'll just collapse those unnecessary things. If you want to add more checkpoints, you can do that. If you want to change the look and feel, the entire color of this game, go to post processing volume. There are ambient occlusions is there, don't do anything. The bloom is there, color grinding. Okay, if you want to change anything, you will be changing from here. So there are trackballs, you can change the look and feel from here. So what I did is I went to post process volume, clicked on it. So there are some components. A component is there called post process volume, and from the I'll click on color grinding, so it will expand it, and there is a color trackballs are there where I can edit those trackballs. I can change the entire look and feel of the game. Okay, and with that, if I want to add more objects on the scene, I can also do that by go to assets, mod assets, 3D props, food props, then there are other card, then speed pad is there. Okay, so you can add that the scene. So what I did is just drag and dropped it on the track. Okay, here it is added. You can see speed pad. So double click on it. Now you see the speed pad is there. So perhaps it's okay. So I'll make it on here, and it has a box collider, which I don't want. You can add power up or things like that. So perhaps I'll delete it for now. We'll go and add some environment props over here. Hard props. Okay, so this object you can add, then you can explore, and you'll see that there are other objects are also there, like carting, prefabs. Then if I go to environment, you get to see there are a lot of objects are there. There's a building I can add. There's another building I can add over there. Okay, so I can change its rotation. So click on that object, you can rotate and rotate it as you want. Okay, so this is a track, and you can change it to a cityscape. This, so yeah, this I want to add over here. Yeah, so there'll be 100% sort of thing. Some, so so we have one track over here, another track is there. You want to change your player and track and everything, whatever things we have added over here, you can add those things in this track as well. Okay, so suppose you can start the track, you can move your player to this position, you can change all these checkpoints position, you can so this start and end, this object over here. Okay, start finish line. Okay, you can change it, you can move it to that position also. So how we do it is this, so this object selected, I can use the move tool to move it. Okay, is there, okay, you can rotate and you can place the object of your, and like this you can pretty much, you know, edit the entire scene and make it by your own. And I hope you'll explore more about it. And this is it for today. So, any questions? So keep your questions coming in. Till then, I will play and check what are the edit I've done, how it looks. Okay, mute audio. So there is cityscape and all the towers and all the buildings. You can see those. So there is a building over here as well. Okay. A building, buildings, and buildings. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So it looks pretty good to me. Um, any questions? Or you understood it well? How was the session? So do you have any question related to this session? Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Um, keep yourself safe at home and take care of your family. We will meet at the next session and we will discuss much more interesting thing than this. So the next session we have and the next week is the last week of our this summer course or summer workshop. So we will add objects, much more objects, and we will try to make it much more interesting or scene. And perhaps at the end we will build and we will play on our mobile phone. Then we'll be able to play on our console or on our PC anyway. Okay, thank you, bye.